I think if we don't let go of being perfect, we're gonna be stuck. You can keep your safe current life and start growing your dreams with still being safe. I think we can't be happy if we just keep everything inside.
Hey, and welcome to Unfold. I'm your host, Larissa, and I am so happy that you're here listening to today's episode. Together, we unfold all the layers to reconnect with our true self, to believe in ourselves, and to create a life that truly fulfills us. I'm so happy and excited to share today's guest with me. Her name is Lovisa Kjellerstedt. She's a 23-year-old business coach and moved 2.5 years ago from Sweden to Bali. She is in Bali and helps other people to create a life that truly goes aligned with their purpose and their dreams. And when I met Lovisa the first time, I felt so inspired by her energy and by her clarity she had. So I was like, this is a story that needs to be heard and that needs to be shared. Today's episode is for everyone who feels stuck, lost, or who just knows that there must be something deeper in life. Because Lovisa is the living proof that this is possible. And with that, thank you that you're here and welcome, Lovisa, to my podcast Unfold.
Thank you. I'm so excited. I feel like a kid on Christmas, like, oh, I'm on a podcast and I'm so happy to be here with you. It's so inspiring to see your work and to be able to share with your listeners as well everything that I have on my mind. Yeah.
I'm ready to have a chat with you, ready to unfold your whole story. So I would say let's dive into it with the very first question. Was there a moment in your life where you realized that if I'm staying here in my comfort zone, I'm gonna give up to the person that I can become?
Yeah, 100%. Like, as soon as I saw there were more possibilities to life, and I saw this when I went traveling and I saw people working on their own terms and they were going for dreams that I didn't know exist, I was like, there is no way that I wouldn't do it that way, you know? I As soon as you see the possibilities and how much you can grow as a person, you are so aware that you're staying, like, playing small if you don't go there. So since that's just like on my mind, I'm always like striving to, yeah, grow more and inspire more and do all of that. So I just think, like, once you create that desire, so maybe someone who's listening to this now is like, I have this desire, like, it's not going to go away, because once it starts, like, it's going to be there until you do something about it. And it's just going to be feeling so amazing when you actually take a step of curiosity and like figure out what that is. Just be curious to like find out more, like, what do I want to do? It's just going to feel amazing. So nothing negative with going for that. And yeah, it's just gonna stay there as this amazing spark until you do something about it, and it's so worth to like explore.
But do you remember the moment when you felt it? Like, because I was wondering, where does this urge comes from? You know, does your where does your fire comes from? When did it happen?
Yeah.
Do you remember a day where you were like, honestly, I want to do something else?
So I've had so many layers of my journey, and the moment when I felt like I really found my purpose, I was really like, I felt super creative and I was already doing some of my own things. Like, I did my own projects, I had my own business, but I feel like we're all looking for purpose in this world. And I just felt like something was a bit empty. Like, I was like, what is my purpose? I'm looking for something more. I want to, like, what do I really love to do? I love to have deep chats, to inspire, to listen, to help other people see things from new perspectives and support them to move forward and feel better. And I was like, I need to do something with my purpose. So it was actually here in Bali when I was sitting talking to my friend, like, what do I actually really love to do? And it's that I love to speak with people. Like, I need to be working with people. So that's when I was like, I need to go after that. And then that desire was created. Like, I want to work with people. I want to be able to change their lives. And yeah, breathe belief into them and be that person who listens, who gives them advice, who gives them the steps to get there. And since then, I've just had this really like passion to just
Yeah.
let everyone know, because ever since I moved to Bali, there was everyone or so many people are asking like, how can you live here? And I bet like someone who's listening to this are feeling like as well, like they see everyone or they see someone that's living this life, and they don't know how to start or get there. And I wanted to give people a way to like, this is the step by step, like I'm gonna support you and get you there. And ever since then, I've just felt like so passionate to just help on a deeper level, just like, yeah.
So you were describing how it started here in Bali, right? But how would you describe yourself, Deluisa, from Sweden before you started with all the business, before you realized, like, whoa, honestly, I want to talk to people, I want to help people?
This is so good because I feel like I was such a different person. And I think many people who are at the start, they just have this desire, they are going to relate to what I felt and who I was back then. So I've always been this really ambitious girl who's just like studying so hard, and I'm gonna go to university, I'm gonna become an engineer. And like, I studied so hard, and I thought everything was about proving myself to my parents, having good grades, proving myself to the teachers, and getting into that education. And there was only one way to go. So I was like this girl who studied a lot. I had a few close friends, and I don't think I had like that big of a confidence either. I didn't know fully who I was, you know. I was just following the path that was given. And yeah, that was me. Like, I feel like I didn't have a voice to like confidently sit and speak here. Like, I was just a girl who was following the path of wanting to study. So that was literally me before. And I had no idea that I was gonna sit today in a podcast studio and have my own business and live in Bali. Um, so like, me back then, I had no idea. And that's the cool thing. Like, you have no idea how amazing your life is going to get. There's no way to predict it. And the only way to like actually realize and then experience it is to be curious and like try something new, try some like tiny steps. And it was just tiny steps that led me from being that person back then, just following the norm, just doing good in school and trying to make my parents proud, and being this perfectionist, and very hard on myself as well, to then like what's happened today.
Would you say you're still hard on yourself today? Do you still have this characteristics of perfectionist?
Yes. I'm such a perfectionist, and I love to do everything perfectly. I'm trying to overcome that every day. But I think it's like sometimes it's good in some ways, like to have that drive and to want to make everything really good. Like, as an entrepreneur, you want to obviously have quality in what you do, but I think it's important to let go of it and like challenge yourself to show up like just shitty, like the worst lighting, like because I'm doing videos, and then it's like I just want to show up and not care about the outcome. I just like super raw. So I'm definitely still a perfectionist, but I've let go of that so much when I realized actually nobody cares. Literally everyone who's listening to this, they're just carrying, like, everyone is centered around themselves and how they're perceived. So no one else is gonna actually notice, like, no one cares. And it doesn't matter to be like perfect every time. Like, I still struggle with it, and literally every person like people are inspired by, I think everyone still has struggles. But yeah, I'm definitely working on it.
Why do you think is that so important to also, let go of this perfectionist side? Because I think you're speaking for so many other people out there who maybe have these characteristics and they want to do things perfectly, and then it holds them back from actually doing the step, like, yes, we can plan so many things in our head, but Do you had this as well when you were like, oh, it's still not perfect, I can't release it? Why do you think it is so important to let go of the perfectionist side as well, at least a little bit?
Yeah, I think if we don't let go of being perfect, we're gonna be stuck. And if you have to, because you can't know like what's gonna happen in a day. If you have to show up perfect, if you need to keep like tweaking what you're gonna say on a presentation or in a job interview, or if you're gonna tweak the video you're gonna post or the photo you're gonna post, if it's never perfect, you're never gonna post it. And then you're never gonna get to like the next steps and the next streams and everything that you want to create. And nothing is ever perfect. Like nothing in this world is perfect. And that's just a fact. And yeah, so it's gonna keep us stuck. And I think, well, obviously it's hard to just let go of it. But for me, it was just like doing it anyway. It's literally like, of course, when I let go of it the first time, it was super scary. But now it's like brushing my teeth. It's like when you do something out of routine, like you get more comfortable. And even if it's whatever it is that you want to do, if you want to start your own business or create a personal brand or start a podcast, record like one video and don't even intend to post it. Just practice and maybe just show it to one friend. Maybe just practice to communicate something to a friend that you've been too scared to say. Like practice being imperfect and just vulnerable, maybe just to one person or to yourself, and then it's gonna get easier with time. I promise it's gonna get easier. Yeah.
I was just asking myself, what does perfection even mean? How would you describe that? What does it even mean? Where does it comes from? Perfection. What is perfection?
I think it's a fake word. Honestly, like, cause
what is perfection?
Yeah. I feel like the fact that I don't know how to respond to that is because I feel like it doesn't exist. Like, how do I describe something perfect?
How do you describe something that doesn't exist?
Yeah.
And also, on the other hand, I'm wondering, let's say when I do meditation, sometimes I do guided meditation and then they say mantras or they say something else. And then they say, you're already perfect the way you are. And first I struggled with this word, like, oh, I am perfect, because nothing is ever perfect. But maybe this is also perfection.
Yeah.
With the imperfection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think how everything is perfect. Like the way you are naturally, the way I am naturally, the way the tree is naturally is perfect. Like just how I guess nature is created and how we are in our natural state.
But why do we struggle so much with that?
Yeah.
When it's that simple. What do you think?
There are literally norms created for so like many years and centuries. Like we were taught not to speak about feelings. We were taught, to only like keep your personal stuff to yourself. It's been so much around this, and I feel like it's just opening up now. And it's just been this norm. Like I think it has with back in the day when there were wars and people were really like fighting against each other, it would be vulnerable to share these things, your sides that you were not maybe like your worst traits or whatever it is, like that would be something bad in war or when you're in a fight. So I think like when we're in this scary scenario, it's vulnerable to and risky to share that. So I think it comes like from way back, and we don't live in that reality anymore. So yeah.
Do you know where it comes from you? Like how did you got raised? How did Lovisa, the small girl, grew up? Where does it comes from?
Yeah, it's so interesting. And I think like many can relate because obviously our parents just want what's best for us. But of course, like when you do something good, when you learn to walk, like they're cheering on you. When you paint a pretty picture, they're like, yes, good. And when you come home and said, Mom, I really got this good grade today, and they're like so excited. And when maybe you got mad at someone or said like a bad word, or if you, yeah, I don't know what scenario, but if you did something that was not towards the norm, maybe that wasn't as cheered on. So obviously kids love appreciation, so then we do more of the things to get praise. So I had such loving parents and they cheered me on so much. And I think that's also, maybe we get addicted to it. Like, I want to do so well and feel like, make my parents proud. So I had a very loving like uprising in childhood, and I love it. It was super playful, and I feel like I brought like all that love and playfulness and everything with me. And it's probably also like, not even no one was aware of it, but it's just creating this like, I want to be so good. I was also raised like in a Christian family, so it's all about like being a good person, good values, and I'm so happy that I have that, because like, I want to be a good person. So, but it may also put this pressure to not feel like I can do things wrong. And in Christianity as well, like some things could be interpreted as wrong sometimes. Obviously it depends on how you think.
What do you think would have happened if they would have raised you maybe differently? Like, well, you can't really ask this question because you really don't know how it would turn out.
Yeah, let's say I had like,
or what would you have wished if you could wish now?
oh,
What would you have
yes.
wished that, without blaming them, as you said, every person in the end of the day tries to do their best, whatever their best means to them. I really believe that. And some people, they can't do more, and some people they just do things differently. But when you look back now, from your perspective of now, you 23-year-old, what would you have wished that they could have maybe done differently?
Yeah, this is so good. I just realized when you said this, there, like, I had this quote unquote perfect uprising, but it was also like the negative feelings were not really shown. So whenever there were not many arguments, but if there was an argument, or someone was a bit upset, or there was a problem, so I wish that my parents had talked more about like the hard things in life and the struggles, and where when they were not feeling great, and like not having to be these perfect parents either. So I think that was the fact, like they were trying to be perfect too, and I feel like I didn't learn fully how to share when I had a problem, or really share my feelings, or when I was really uncomfortable, because my parents also kind of hid that from us, I think.
Why do you think is that so important, that parents learn how to speak about it? Or why do you think it's so important that parents also open up and share their struggles?
Yeah, because otherwise it might feel like that's not something you should talk about.
But did you have people that you could have talked to? Like, to who did you talk about when you didn't feel that well, when you were younger? Because when your parents show you that, in a subconscious way, maybe when they show you that talking about the struggles isn't the normal thing, then I also think you start to feel like, oh, maybe I shouldn't even open up and share it with anyone. Did you had that?
Yeah.
That you had the feeling, I am not allowed, let's say, to share my struggles with anyone, with anybody?
Yeah, a little bit. I obviously, like, at some points in my home, we just like, someone started crying, like I've been crying in front of my parents, so sometimes I just couldn't hold it in.
Yeah.
And I shared it, but I was keeping it all inside me. and it was building up to the point when it was just like bursting out.
How was that for you to
So
hold that?
intense. So intense. I feel like I'm like carrying so much that haven't shared like from when I was young, probably.
But how does it make you feel? Because I really imagine like
Yeah.
keeping it all together.
Yeah.
How is
hard.
that?
Like you gotta be strong. And I think like, yeah, probably so many people carry everything inside them and still do to this day. Because now I feel like I've broken free from that. And here in Bali, so many people can talk in depth and like support each other. And I feel like I'm past that. So like I'll let everything out now. But I think so many people still carry it. And it's so hard and heavy to actually, like, you gotta be so strong to do it. Yeah.
How do you do it today? Like how did
That's
you learn that? How did you learn that, oh, actually sharing your emotions can be good too?
yeah.
How was the transition from the belief of holding everything back to sitting here today in the podcast and talking about it? What happened?
Yeah. It's all like, step by step, but I think by me, like, I moved out of Sweden. I moved to Norway first, and I was working as a flight attendant. So then I started to meet other cultures, and also with like meeting people, other people with actually values, and they know how to communicate. And I had a very close friendship, and this girl was very straightforward, communicated so well, and I always had a struggle to like tell my truth. So when I started my friendship with her, I would either just like cave in and just follow her with like with her tail, like follow behind and not have my own opinions, which is not good. And I just felt like I need to be able to stand my ground. So I was actually just like in the uncomfortable, learning how to speak back, share my, if I was uncomfortable, if I had another opinion, because I just felt like I was just stepped at and I could not, yeah, I was like not valued if I didn't do it. So I kind of felt forced when I finally had a friendship that had the qualities of like someone is actually like, she is speaking her mind, she has her values, and they're very strong. So if I don't do that, because I feel like I've been surrounded by very like sweet and nice people, and everyone's like kind of comfortable, and we can like, I'm good with anything. So then I just had to start speaking up for myself, and then I just started practicing to communicate. And in that whole era, I moved to Bali, and everyone here and like everyone is on their own self-development journey, and they're, yeah, so I guess like the people around me started to inspire me to communicate, and I started opening up, and I started to like get support from my friends how to voice what I felt with this friendship. And it was so uncomfortable, like, don't expect anything else, because if you're not used to something, it's going to be uncomfortable. But uncomfortable is growth, and that's one of my many like things I love to say, because it's going to be uncomfortable whatever you do until you're used to it and comfortable in it.
But for someone now who's listening, I think you said a really good point. Find your community. But let's say someone sits in their room in Sweden, Norway, wherever in the world, listening to this episode and thinks like, yes, I want to surround myself by other people, but where should I start?
You're not going to find it if you just think and wish about it. So it's so easy and still comfortable to sit in your own home, scroll a bit on your phone, even just like either Google it or just scroll on Instagram, because there are so many people who do this today. Like, I found, well, my first kind of community I got into was literally me after a trip to Sri Lanka, and I saw people working online, and I searched like how to work online, and I didn't know it was going to be about the community. But I found a marketing course. Literally, I was Googling, and then the internet works that way, because if you search something, then more of that will appear. So I just started searching, which is so easy. And then I got an ad from a YouTube video like about this digital marketing course. And then there was a community with it. So like so many courses have communities, like so many different ways. There are obviously opportunities that are not connected to working online as well. Just people holding space for women or men. Like literally all these, yeah, you just gotta like start to literally search on your phone, I would say, because the phone is a really good search engine and we should utilize it. So curiosity, and you can stay in your comfortable bed, like you can do all that, and you can just scroll a bit on your phone and literally just send one question to the person you feel like you relate to. Like if you find a community, send a question, ask questions. So that's the second, ask questions, because if you don't ask questions, you won't get the answers. And with more information, you get more clarity. I started like my whole journey, obviously, how I kind of felt more confident and finding like being imperfect and all of these things. It came along with my entrepreneurial journey. And I started my first business without any support. I was just like learning Facebook ads without, like, I was Googling, YouTubing, and it took so long to, build the knowledge and build the systems and a good portfolio and then have clients trust you with that.
When was that? When did you started doing this and putting yourself out with Facebook ads and everything?
3 years ago.
So with 20, when you were 20?
When I was
or 19?
20, yeah. So when I was 20, that started with literally me starting to search on my phone, and I found a course and I got started. And that was my first experience, and I'm so happy for it because it took me here. But also, I was still like, it took me 11 months to get my first client. 11 months. And with that being said, don't give up. Like, it took 11 months and then it started to work, But then when I started this business, I have a personal mentor who supports me. Because if you're a beginner and you don't know where to start, to have someone to ask questions, like instead of me YouTubing and Googling and spending hours and hours, to just have someone to say, oh yeah, just do this. This is the answer. Or like, this is the strategy that worked for me. Or like, use my funnel, use my system. It's so much easier and it goes so much faster. So people are a bit scared to ask for support, but we humans, like, we need connections, we need support. And there are literally so many people who want to have your back out there. So
I read this, and I also saw it when I did a coaching with John Strulacki. Some people might know him. He's an author about The Cafe in the Edge of the World.
Yes.
Amazing book.
Yes.
It was one of the books that changed my life with all the deeper questions. And it's also not that thick. So for anyone who's interested in this, great start, and also a soft start, I would say. And when I did the course about the Big Five for life with him, he said something so important. And it was that as soon as you start to write down what you want, and for some people this might be hard to write down what I want. Maybe I don't even know what I want. Then start to write down what you don't want. And as soon as you really start to write things down and to also communicate it, like talk with other people about it,
yes,
you create, believe it or not, but you create an energy between you and the universe, you and life. So same as with when you search for Google, you put in a word and everything, the whole algorithm gives you all the informations. We all know this when we talk about, I don't know, how to get in shape, and we talk with this a lot about with our friends. Our phone listens to us and it shows us so many maybe workout plans, or we see new pictures in Instagram.
Yeah.
So this is so crazy, and it really, really works. So same as when you ask something in Google and then you get so many informations on YouTube, on Instagram. That's also how it works with life. As soon as you start to talk about things you want, you will see it. You will see it. You will hear it. When you want to grow your own business and you write it down and you talk with your friends about it, and you're really sure, yes, I want to do it, you will have the ear for it. You will hear anyone talking about business, or you will hear and see opportunities.
And also, like, obviously I'm mentioning like, oh, go on Google or on Instagram and search these things. But obviously, I love to obviously be surrounded by real people as well. So the whole social media thing, or like on your phone, is the really easy, simple, accessible thing that you can just do by yourself. And of course, if you're comfortable enough, like I think we've all heard, like, you are the sum of the people you surround yourself with. So if you feel like you want to become more of this person, try to find people around you who are like-minded to you. And I know this is a struggle because I know it's easier here in Bali. So I mean, easy solution, move to Bali. But otherwise, like when I lived in Sweden, it's kind of hard to find new friends, new groups. For me, it's literally like the people you hang out with in school become your friends, and they're your friends forever. And you literally have friends from your job or from your education. And to find other communities can be tricky. And I feel like it's hard in Sweden, and I think many other countries relate to that as well.
What do you think would happen if you have a dream, but you stay in your old surrounding? Maybe you're surrounded by people who are your close friends. You have them since so many years, but you realize that as soon as you start to bring something up about your dreams, they maybe laugh at you. They put your dreams down. What do you think happens when you stay in the surrounding, when you don't step out of it?
Yeah.
What would have happened to you if you would have stayed, if you wouldn't have decided to do all the steps you did?
I think it's like really simple, because if you don't like step out of your comfort zone and go after your dreams, you're literally gonna stay in the same place. So it's as simple as that. Like, let's say you currently have a job and you have your friend group, you're probably gonna stay there. Like 1 year from now, still in the same job, still the same friends, still the same desire to make a change, but still not doing anything about it. 5 years later, still in the same job, still the same friends, not doing anything about it, but still wanting it. Like, so then it's gonna keep looking the same. But if you want to grow as a person and you make a change, of course, things are slowly gonna happen. So I think many people are so scared to take that next step and get out, like chase their dreams. But they're so scared, like, what if it doesn't work out? And the worst scenario ever is literally just your current life, what you're currently doing. Like, you can always, of course, like many people start their self-development journey and hang around these people and start writing down their ideas or texting or taking the first steps to start a business on the side of their safe job. So you can keep your safe current life and start growing your dreams with still being safe. Because the worst thing, if you're just too scared to take that step, you're literally just gonna stay in your current life.
But why do you think are still so many people not doing the step? Why do people still choose comfort over the risk, over discomfort, even if they know deep down that the life I'm living right now isn't fulfilling me?
Yeah. I think there are two aspects to it. Like, firstly, like how just the body reacts to things, and just knowing that your body is just literally reacting to new things as something unfamiliar and scary, and that might be a threat to, like, going back to when we were hunters and there were actually like scary animals and wars and all the things. Our body reacts to unfamiliar things as threats, and that fires up something in our brains that is like, oh, maybe I should stay in this comfort thing because I know it's safe here. And we do everything to keep us safe. That's how we're programmed from long ago. But the other thing, I think it's about, like, people are scared of being judged. People are scared to put their idea out there and fail, and then people seeing that they would fail. So it literally comes down to being scared of judgment and back to the perfectionism. But I would 100% say, like, it's so much cooler to see someone chase their dreams and try to do their own business for 1 year. And if that doesn't work, go back to their work. But that was so cool that they tried this thing. Or, you know, someone who's showing up online, literally also back to the thing that everyone is literally so self-centered. Everyone cares about themselves. Like, people are so focused on themselves. So you putting yourself out there, I know it's scary, and I know it's hard to get past this judgment, but I think that's what's holding us back, really.
So you shared that you started also to share your vulnerable side. You started to talk about your struggles. Why do you think is that so important? What makes it so important to talk about how you really feel in life in general, not now only for business? Like, why is it important to talk about how we feel? Why is it important to not have this perfect facade for outside?
I just feel like when I didn't share these things, I just felt so alone, and I was like, is anyone actually feeling this as well? Like, and I didn't feel completely honest. And just for me, I know like this honesty doesn't feel good, and I think it's important to let other people know that they're not alone. And
For me, if someone shares their vulnerable side, it creates connection.
Yeah. Yes.
Same as you do.
Yes.
But my question is, why do you think it's so important that you start to open up, that you start to not be this perfect girl?
Yeah.
Why?
I think we can't be happy if we just keep everything inside. I just know how heavy it was to carry all the negative emotions inside me, because it's not like they go away. So you're literally like hiding a part of yourself. It's like you would be, you know, hiding like this every day to people, but you actually, like, your face is a part of you as well, and everyone are feeling these things. So I just think that, yeah, we can't be fully happy. It's so heavy to carry it on our own. And like you said, it creates connection and trust, and people relate. And when people relate, they connect. Friendships, connection, like everything. Yeah, it's just better that way.
Because I think that what happens so fast is that for people who start with their own business or they want to create something, usually they only see the good side of it. They only see how people succeed. And then, as you said, when you then feel maybe overwhelmed, you feel anxious, you feel sad because things don't work out the way you want, you start to feel lonely.
Yeah. And I think, like, if someone wants to start a business and they just see the end results, they just see the success and all of this, like, they will feel like, this is so hard, I have to start this, and it needs to be perfect, it needs to succeed, because that's what they see from everyone else. So for me, sharing the struggles of being an entrepreneur, and these are the problems I handled along the way, this is what helped, and people feel like it's more doable and that they can do it too. And you don't have to start something new, you don't have to start a new hobby and be perfect at it. You're obviously not going to know how to play the piano before you start practicing. And I think it's just important, yeah, for people to not be alone, and for people to know that literally all humans make mistakes. Life is trial and error, and you can start something new, and it doesn't have to be perfect straight away. Like, you can have ups and downs, you can fail, you can try again.
What was the biggest change for you, career-wise, life-wise, when you started to talk about your struggles, when you started to share your emotions?
The biggest change in...
What's the biggest change in your life? Like, since you started to do that, what changed?
I just feel like this weight has been lifted off my shoulders. Like, imagine like everything that I've been carrying inside me since I was a kid, and all the things I never voiced. It's heavy to like have that inside, so it's just like I just feel lighter. I feel more honest. I feel more happy and like also fulfilled, because when I'm opening up, I can see the results of that other people feel comfortable to open up as well, and they're relating to me, and they're like, oh, thank you so much for saying that. I'm feeling that too, and it's been so hard, and I'm so happy that someone finally speaks about it. And then you can see that you're lifting the weight of someone else's shoulders, and that's so beautiful to see. So it's easy to also be like, it's all about us and what we're feeling. But then like you're gonna see the ripple effect of other people becoming comfortable to share as well, and you're gonna see that, and then you're gonna find like real purpose in like the conversations you're having. Like they feel so meaningful. You can feel like you're helping people, you're supporting people through their emotions and letting the
I think what I feel a lot is that I'm too much. I'm too much. I ask too deep questions. I share too many emotions. I'm too much. That's one of my limiting beliefs that I have about myself. So this is something where I work on almost every day with actions or with words, with kindness towards myself, to show myself that I'm okay the way I am. I am not too less, I'm not too much, I am exactly okay the way I am. And this is something that comes from back when I felt like an outsider, because I was questioning so many things so deeply. I know that this is exactly who I am, and this is why I have this podcast.
Yeah.
Because I am not just having small talk conversations. This is not who I am, and it's not what I want in my life. So it took me a while to realize that what I thought about myself, the limiting beliefs I had, is something that is actually my power. So that's my question to you. What kind of limiting beliefs, or what is the one limiting belief that you had about yourself, or maybe still do?
Yeah, it's a good question, and I love that. And like for just to see you also like in your element, like we have something that we think is so like, oh, we're too much, and then you find your purpose, and it's like that is what makes you you, and now you're supporting other people by being yourself. So that's
Yes.
so beautiful. I love that. um for me, I feel I'm trying to like find like the one word for it, but I'm just gonna talk because I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe you can describe it.
Yeah, I think it comes to like feeling, I've been feeling like I'm always doing what I'm not supposed to do. I've been feeling a bit like the black sheep, both in like my family and my friend groups and how I've been growing up, because as I'm growing older, I've been like choosing different paths, and I've been choosing my own path, which is not like the normal path and out of the comfort zone. So every time that I've been doing something different, I've been feeling so different, and like not that I'm suiting the norm. And me like moving out of Sweden, and everyone's like, "Oh, you're gonna leave us now, and why are you like wanting? Why are you having these different desires than most of the other people have?" And oh, now you're living here, and you have all these like you're have your own business. And I think I feel maybe like an outsider as well sometimes, like the black sheep, or sometimes like, oh, should I maybe just settle for the normal life and the normal things? And is what I'm doing really like, am I really capable of this? Like, probably that's a limiting belief. Like, can I really do this? Am I capable of this? Like, do I really believe in myself that much? Can I become this successful person who is so embodied and who helps other people? So yeah, like limiting like, am I capable, and feeling like I don't fit into the normal scenario, the norm of life. But now I know that's my superpower, and I want to inspire other people to be more themselves and talk about all these things and follow their own thing, like their dreams. And now, like you said as well, I know that it is my superpower, but I still like have these thoughts in my head like, oh, am I really that unique? Can I really make a difference? And yeah, I think we like it's so normal and okay to feel like that as well. But then my passions and my drive is stronger. So maybe like for you as well, or someone who's listening, like I think we'll always in some ways have limiting beliefs and feelings. Maybe they will grow smaller and like go away more, but it's okay to keep have like it's okay to be like, okay, I say negative things sometimes, and I'm going to try my best to like keep going, and it's okay that I'm feeling this. Like I don't have to, because sometimes if I'm saying something negative, I'm like getting mad at myself for doing that, and then I'm in this negative spiral. So I think it's just good to normalize it, and like it's okay, but that what you want to do, your passions and how you want to grow, how you want to inspire, like have that be more exciting and more inspiring. Yeah.
My last question is, what's the biggest lesson when you think back now from your life? What's the biggest lesson you've learned for yourself? The one thing that you're like, yes, that's what I learned.
Yeah. My biggest lesson and what I've learned from all the decisions I've made is that it's by taking the risks and trying the new things that I got here. And it's all been like a beautiful journey, and I don't regret anything. And maybe back then I thought like, should I really do this? But looking back at it, I don't regret anything. So, yeah, take the risks and try the things and go after what you want and like how you want to live your life. 100%.
Thank you so much for being on my podcast, for sharing your inspiring story. That was exactly the energy what I felt when we first met, and I'm so happy that we were going through all of this. So thank you for opening up. It really means a lot to me that you shared what you were going through in life, and I'm so grateful that you are sharing what you feel, and I know that it can help so many other people out there. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for holding the space.
Thanks for each and everyone who listened until now. I'm going to share all the informations about Lovisa in the show notes. Check her out. I thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, to follow the YouTube channel, to follow the podcast community if you just listen to it, and don't forget to rate the podcast or to write down a comment. Just a thought you want to share, or just something else you want to share with me or with us today. If you have anyone in mind that should listen to exactly this episode, maybe a friend, your partner, or a family member, share it with them and talk about it, because this is where the real change happens. Thank you so much again, and I'll see you on the next Wednesday. Have a great day or have a good night.